Hello and welcome to our ongoing coverage of the 2023 Shanghai International Auto Show. In this particular video, we're going to be giving you a look at the most exciting debuts from international brands, including Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen.
With hands-on test drives and reviews of exciting Chinese market vehicles, Wheelsboy is the #1 source for China auto insights. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Porsche has chosen the Shanghai Auto Show to debut the mid-cycle refresh of the Cayenne. This includes updates to the interior and exterior design, as well as the powertrain and chassis. There have been only minor tweaks to the exterior design meant to bring this car in line with the rest of the lineup from Stuttgart. That includes headlights similar to the ones that you would find on a Porsche Taycan, and a full-width front fascia borrowed from the refreshed Macan. The interior upgrades are perhaps the most obvious. That includes a transition to a fully digital instrument cluster, as well as a new 12.3-inch center screen and 10.9-inch passenger screen like the one you would find in a Taycan. There's been some tweaks to the tires and suspension, and a lot of changes when it comes to the powertrains. The top turbo GT with its twin-turbo V8 now makes around 490 kilowatts, slightly more than the last version. The base 3-liter V6 also makes slightly more power, and the Cayenne S goes from a 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6 to a 4-liter V8 twin-turbo. Besides me is the all-new 2024 Maserati Grecale Folgore, the first full-electric SUV from the prestigious Italian brand. Maserati says that the styling language from their EVs isn't going to be that different from their ICE vehicles, but there are some noticeable differences, starting with the grille. The area here, as you can see, the areas that would normally be blocked off are open, and the areas that would be open are rather blocked off. This is one thing that will give away the fact that this is an EV. The other thing is coming around on the side. Underneath the Folgore badge is the traditional 3 exhaust ports or portholes on the side of the car. These, when the vehicle is on, will actually light up. Everybody knows that the badge on Maseratis is inspired by Neptune's trident, but the wheels on the Grecale Folgore are inspired by a different mythical character, Thor, and specifically his hammer. When this vehicle is moving, we're told that it is supposed to look like Thor's hammer when he spins it. Think about Marvel movies and you know what I mean. Also, it has to do with Thor because Folgore in Italian means lightning. While this vehicle isn't going to have a beautiful sounding engine like so many Maseratis before it, they have taken time to install some speakers into the rear bumper that will produce certain sounds, including, we're told, one that's supposed to sound like storm clouds overhead. The interior of the Grecale Folgore is largely similar to that of the ICE version of the car. However, there are some different materials, including the seats here, which are made from, I'm told, an environmentally friendly material. Not all the information has been released regarding the powertrain of this vehicle, but we do know that it will be all electric, of course, have a 105 kilowatt-hour battery that provides up to 700 kilometers of range, and make up to 800 newton-meters of torque. Meet Volvo's new flagship model, the 7-seater EX90 electric SUV. The design of the EX90 keeps a lot of the Volvo signature design elements, including the rear taillights, as well as the headlights, shaped like Mjolnir, that's Thor's hammer. But this time, they're made up of individual LED lights as opposed to being a single piece. The result is a sleek and handsome SUV with up to 370 kilowatts of power and a 0 to 100 kilometer per hour time of less than 4.9 seconds. That powertrain gets its juice from a 107 kilowatt-hour battery pack. It supports 250 kilowatt charging. The WLTP range is a claimed 590 kilometers. This is also the first Volvo model to use LiDAR, in this case from US supplier Lumineer. The interior of the EX90 is classic Volvo, meaning a simple design with excellent material quality. The centerpiece is a 14.5-inch infotainment screen. Making its global debut here in China is the Mercedes-Maybach EQS SUV. Of course, Maybach is the pinnacle of what Mercedes-Benz sells, and of the 21,600 units that they sold in 2022, over half of them were sold here in the Chinese market. When it comes to the luxury MPV market, there is only one king, and that is certainly the Lexus LM, a vehicle that often sells for over $200,000 US here in the Chinese market after adjusted dealer markup. This is the all-new generation of LM. This particular car is an LM500, but we're told there will also be an LM350H. All of the models will be hybrid. Will it be able to keep up with all the incoming competitors to the segment? We do not know. All we know is the king is dead. Long live the king. China is Volkswagen's largest market, but they're facing increasing competition from Chinese automakers, particularly in the EV space. To push back, they've released their sixth all-electric model, the ID.7 sedan. The ID.7 shares its design language with the ID Aero and ID Vision concept cars. The light-up grille and VW badge probably won't make it to the European market for regulatory reasons, but it will be on Chinese market vehicles. As fitting of a flagship sedan, this vehicle measures around 5 meters in length and features quite a bit of interior tech, including a large infotainment screen and a small digital instrument cluster. Material qualities appear to be quite good, including real leather seats and center console. The ID.7 is expected to serve as the flagship model for the ID line and will eventually feature the brand's new APP550 electric motor, said to produce 210 kilowatts. However, it will initially launch with a rear-mounted motor, making a more modest 150 kilowatts. Paired to that motor is a 77 kilowatt-hour battery pack with a claimed range of up to 700 kilometers. The ID.7 will first launch with a 77 kilowatt-hour battery pack in the ID.7 Pro, while an ID.7 Pro S will feature an 82 kilowatt-hour pack with up to 700 kilometers of range on the WLTP cycle. Official pricing hasn't been announced for the ID.7, but it is expected to go on sale in markets like the United States in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Polestar 4, the brand's second SUV and their first coupe SUV. The 4's design blurs the line between a hatchback, a sedan, and an SUV, and indeed actually doesn't even have a rear window. Inside is a digital rear-view mirror in its stead. Like many other Polestar models, the Polestar 3 is full of all sorts of environmentally friendly materials and fabrics. There is a 15.4-inch center screen, a 10.2-inch digital instrument cluster, and a 14.7-inch HUD. Regardless of the market, there will be two different power levels available, a 200 kilowatt single motor variety or a 400 kilowatt dual motor. The Polestar 4 will be produced exclusively here in China and will first go on sale in the Chinese market in November 2023, with other markets to follow in 2024. The starting price in Europe will be $65,000. Smart continues its embrace of the EV future with the release of the number 3. Like the number 1, this vehicle's interior and exterior was designed by Mercedes-Benz, while the development and production were taken over by Geely, a Chinese company here in China. Like the number 1, the number 3 is on the SEA architecture, but it is slightly larger, measuring 4.44 meters in length. It also has a much more steeply raked roofline for a much more sporty look. Unsurprisingly, the interior is largely similar to that of the smart number 1, including the 12.8-inch center screen with a Qualcomm chipset. Powertrain options include a single motor version with 200 kilowatts or a dual motor with 315 kilowatts. Batteries should include a 66 kilowatt hour, but may also include a battery as large as 82 kilowatt hours for a range of around 440 kilometers on the WLTP cycle.